Pregame.com.
Dallas at Denver, Wednesday night NBA action. Bryan, I'm projecting the line Denver -4. You're projecting it 4.5. So we'll go ahead and go with your number here. This is always for me in the NBA, and especially, we're taping on Monday, so this is a Wednesday game. Teams are going to play a game before this one, so that can affect, up or down on the line. When you've got a team like Dallas, who is the defending, world champs, and you're playing a team like Denver, who is, let's say, an up-and-coming team, because they're playing much better than anybody. I mean, really, if you go back to last year, from the time they traded Carmelo Anthony, this team got better. And you wouldn't have, you trade away your superstar, you don't expect that to happen, and this team has played better. They started the season 14-5. Now they've lost 4 of their last 5. So now we got to do a readjustment, but to set the table for you, the key part to that recent slide, the one common denominator is for Denver, they played 5 teams in a row that had a winning record. And now they've lost 4 out of 5. So is Denver, they're up and coming, but they're not there yet? Do we think they're overrated, underrated? That's why I had a little hard time putting my number on them, because their power rankings are going up and down. And on the same token, Dallas, the defending world champs, Dirk comes back from, his rest and rehab or whatever, and they have a couple game winning streak. Now they've lost 3 in a row. They had an ugly road trip. What do you make the adjustment on them?
Yeah, Denver's good because they have a lot of depth. And in this season, when you're playing a strange schedule, those are the teams that are going to have a lot of success. What you've mentioned, the recent games for Denver, because they've started so well, this is now a big game for the teams that they play. So those teams are able to work their schedule around and say, well, this game is more important than that game. So they're able to play Denver with the guys. They're resting their stronger guys. So when they play Denver now, they're playing with their strongest players.
They're not the look-ahead spot.
So they're not the look-ahead spot any longer. And you talk about the situations here with Dallas. Dallas has lost 3 straight games, including my Cleveland Cavaliers. And now they've had 3 days off, 3 full days off. How often this season has teams had 3 full days off? And I've got all my stats here, and they're small numbers. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of games here, but Dallas is a perfect 2-0 this season when they've got more than 1 day of rest. It's 2 games.
Yeah.
But the important part is it makes a lot of sense. Dallas is a veteran team. Dallas is a team that came into the season by their own regard a little bit full of themselves and not in the best of shape. We've talked about Dirk Nowitzki.
I enter every season full of myself and not in the best of shape.
Well, that's a normal season for you. But, and it's a big revenge game here. Is, if you remember, second game of the season, after Dallas played Miami, got embarrassed opening day, then they go to Denver. Denver embarrasses them 115-93. So that's always been in the back of the minds of this Dallas team. Dallas 4-1 on the season against the spread as a road underdog. This is a good role for them. And if you take a look at Denver, they're just 1-2 against the spread when they face a team with more than 1 day of rest. One of those covers, the only cover, was by half a point. So this isn't the best situation for Denver. And you talk about the Nuggets struggling right now. We're taping this on Monday. They're playing Houston tonight. If Denver comes out and gets a good, solid winning cover against Houston, I like this game with Dallas even better.
I agree with you. I'm on the Dallas side here as well. Going for the scheduling dynamics, we're going to get line value depending, unless something out of the ordinary happens in tonight's game with Denver. We're going to get line value because, as you said, Dallas, the 3-game road trip where they lost the final game at Cleveland, I have it noted that was their 3rd game in 4 nights when they played the Cavs. So it was a great spot. Saturday night home crowd. We talk about, the crowds are, there's a difference between a Saturday night crowd and a Tuesday night crowd in the NBA. They may both be sellouts, but you're going to get a more rowdy crowd on Saturday, because you don't have to go to work the next day and so forth, as opposed to a weekday night. So great situation for Cleveland to pull that upset. In scheduling wise, they caught, Dallas not rested, playing 3 and 4 nights. Now we're getting a team that got embarrassed by Cleveland. We're going to get value for that. We've got 3 days of rest. Like you said, that is just unheard of in this year's scheduling. And, you know, Denver is not playing as good against the better teams now because, as you said, the teams are taking them seriously. And if there was anybody that was going to take them seriously, you brought up the point of the revenge from the first game. So they're going to get Dallas's A game without question. Coming off a shocking upset to Cleveland and revenge, I like Dallas here too. And I'm hoping we get a sweet number. I've got Dallas winning by 3. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think Dallas wins this game by at least 2. They win straight up. And it's interesting, you talked about the Saturday situation from Cleveland with the home game and everything. I thought, being from Pittsburgh, you were going to mention that since the Cleveland fans didn't have to prepare for the Browns for the Super Bowl on Sunday, they would all come to this game, and that's probably why they had that big crowd there.
You know, I can only take so many shots at, you know, your football team in Cleveland.
I can't blame you. I've got no excuses for the Cleveland Browns.
You know, and I tell you all the time, the only good thing about, you know, Cleveland in football is it's only a 2-hour drive to see 6 Super Bowl trophies. That never gets old, you know, that, you know, because you have no comeback.
I've got no comeback in any sport when it comes to Cleveland, I'll tell you that.
Well, you know, you had those movies, Major League. I bet you really liked those.
I went to the premiere of Major League. That's a highlight of my Cleveland sports existence.
Best scene is Charlie Sheen coming out of the bullpen and the music playing while it's okay. That's another story. We could do a whole video on that. You got another double bubble from Bryan and myself, and Vegas fears the double bubble. Bryan's got him. I've got him. We're going to officially make this one Bryan's pick, but I will give you a big concur on Dallas plus the points for Wednesday night.
I was just waiting for that. Stayed up all night looking for that.
Hoping for that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when RJ used to do the videos with me, I had to, like, you know, I did all the heavy lifting and everything, you know, present the pick and everything, and at the end of the video, he would either give his blessing or not. I know you want to say something, but, you know, we'll leave it go.
We'll go with that.
You got my blessing. All right. We've got Dallas plus the points. We're both picking them outright for Wednesday. That's going to wrap up this week's early videos. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll have the gang in here. Scott will be in. Scott Spreitzer later in the week, Vegas Runner. You might see us 2 guys again, Steven Nover. So be sure to check out pregame.tv. All week long, we'll have videos every day of the week projecting basketball for you as we march to March Madness. I'm a poet and don't know it.
You're a lot of things.
All right. He's Bryan Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more videos later in the week.